May 22nd, 2025, we started our journey across Canada into Alaska from Eureka, Montana. We got diesel in Eureka, as well as we gassed up Little Red, and we also got propane just north of town, just before the border. We crossed at Roosevelt and headed north on 93. Hey YouTubers, Becky here, rolling with the Davises, here to talk to you about our trip from the United States into Canada on our way to Alaska. This trip was 45 years in the making. My husband and I have been talking about this since before we were married, and December is our 45th wedding anniversary. Alaska will be our 49th state. We have made it to Canada. The border crossing was very easy. We handed him our passports. He asked if we had any weapons. Didn't even ask about any pets, anything about any food, anything like that. He asked where we were from, where we were headed, and how long we were going to be in Canada. Couldn't have been any simpler. Whew. Days and days of planning. It was pretty amazing. I hope all of our crossings go that easy. We put a lot of research into crossing the border. We had all of our produce and meats in their original grocery store packaging, or if it was something like an onion that we pulled out of a bin, it had the grocery store sticker on it. Nothing from a farmer's market or personal garden, which of course we haven't had because we've been on the road for so long. Didn't get a garden this year. We did have a small amount of alcohol, and that's not a problem. Large amounts, I think it's over 2 bottles of wine or liquor and over a case of beer. You'd have to pay the tariff on it. You can still take it in, but you have to pay the tariff or duty or whatever they're calling it now. We had copies of our vehicle registrations and insurance up front with us, even the Jeep that was in the trailer and the trailer registration. We had them ready to go in case there was any questions about that. Please, please, please research this before you go. I am no expert. This is just the research that we found before we left. Things change, laws change. Be sure everything you do is to the letter of the law. You do not want to get on Canada's list as being a weapon carrier because they are going to search you every time you cross the border, from what I understand. It's important not to have any weapons with you, even mace or pepper spray. You can have bear spray, but it's got to say bear spray. It specifically has to be bear spray. You don't want any weapons or weapons parts in your vehicle. So if you're carrying weapons and you're getting ready to cross the border, find an FFL dealer in whatever state you're in. Have them mail them to an FFL dealer in Alaska. Probably the one in Tok is your best bet. If you want the weapons in Alaska, just be sure you're updated on all your licenses and everything. Call ahead. Talk to the dealer in Tok. See what his fees are. See what the policies are. How long they'll hold them. That kind of thing. You're going to go into Tok eventually to get to Alaska. Whether you go to Skagway first and then back up, you will go to Tok unless you're taking a ferry, something fancy. But more than likely, you're going to be going into Tok. If it doesn't work for you, find somewhere else that you are going to be going. I know there's a limited number of days that they'll hold them, so you got to look ahead to that. Or if you don't want the hassle of having to ship it to Alaska, then ship it somewhere else when you're getting ready to leave Alaska. Pawn it. Go to an FFL dealer. Find out about shipping it back home. Do your due diligence. So come with us as we head up 93 north to Alaska out of Montana. I wasn't running the GoPro for every mile when we started this. I corrected that later on in the trip, so I did miss some things. Didn't get the sign in the Kootenai National Park. Didn't get the Banff sign. Here's our first black bear sighting. We had the radio on, and I didn't think to turn it down as we were filming these animal encounters, so you didn't get our true reactions. I can't play that with the radio going, but believe me, we were excited to see our first bear in Canada. And here we've got a mountain goat up on the side of the hill. Those glaciers in that ice field, the way the sun was hitting them, they were absolutely beautiful. Our plan was to scoot across Canada and get to Alaska as quickly as possible. So we didn't really make a lot of stops in Canada. The plan is to stop on the way back, to maybe take an excursion on the ice fields, at least stop and get better pictures and see the ice fields. And here's about 20 bighorn sheep out in the river. Pretty interesting to see them. Wow, there's a skywalk. Brave enough to do it? I don't know. We'll see on the way back. Got some more bighorn sheep here on the bank. Looks like they were all rams. The only sign we stopped at was the one to Jasper National Park. Not really sure where these pictures were taken, but here's some more bighorn sheep and another black bear. I know it's kind of become a trend online to bully people for spending the night in their RV on a Walmart parking lot. Guess what? We don't care. If we can spend the night for free and feel safe, that saves money for some other fun things we'd like to do. Spent our first night in Canada on a Walmart parking lot in Hinton, Alberta, Canada. There was plenty of parking. It was designated RV parking. No trucks were allowed to overnight, so it was very quiet. The Walmart there does not have a large grocery selection, but there is a grocery store on the parking lot. I forget what it was. And there's also a liquor store in case you're interested in that. We needed to go to Hinton for fuel anyway, and this was our first encounter with the card lock situation. As a general rule, the quote-unquote trucker pumps at these stations only take fleet fuel cards. We ended up fueling at the car pumps here. It was a little tight with our 64-foot rig, but we made it work. Did see a video after we got back from Canada saying that if you call Open Roads, they'll turn you on for Canada. I don't know if that's true or not. If you know, let me know in the comments. We did find out as we were using this car pumps across Canada that if you tap your card, you get a higher limit for pumping. They do ask you for how much you want to spend before you start pumping fuel. If you inserted it, most of the pumps, I think it was a $200 Canadian limit. If you tap it, it took it up to at least $250. That was a total of 423 miles, 679 kilometers. We fueled up in Hinton, 201 liters of diesel, about 50 gallon, and that cost us 183 American. It was 252 Canadian at the time. Day 2, driving across Canada, was a shorter drive day for us. There were things at the end that we wanted to do. We're driving along and all of a sudden the scenery changed and we had these black hills to our left and railroad tracks on the right. Ends up they were mining coal up to the left and bringing it down across the road. They were fueling a power plant with the coal, and they were also loading the railroad cars and shipping the coal out. Here's our first moose. I've enhanced the photo so you can see it a little better. Here's where we went to make our left at Grand Prairie, British Columbia. And there's a sign for Alaska. That was pretty exciting. That was the first sign we'd seen directing us toward Alaska. The town of Beaver Lodge has a mascot. How cute is that? And we made it to Dawson Creek, the beginning of the Alaska Highway. Woohoo! What many don't realize is that mile 0 is not at this fancy sign. Here at the visitor center, it is actually downtown at the square. If you get to Dawson Creek, look for us on the sticker wall. Rolling with the Davises, there we are. We are at the Mile 1 campground here in Dawson Creek, and we're going to go visit their Pioneer Village. I gotta say, I agree with him about the further away from civilization you get, the better off you are. I like that. (1912). Now, I wonder what time when the railroad got here. Could they have hauled all this stuff in on the railroad? Or did this come by wagon? It's a pretty nice house for the day. Separate dining room, eat-in kitchen.
Nice wood stove here.
Yeah. Where are you people from? Maryland.
Oh my goodness. You're a little ways from home.
Yeah, we have bought a house in Tombstone and changed our address to there, but we're originally from Maryland. We just changed it in March, so yeah.
Coming up Friday?
Yes, we are.
Lovely drive.
I hope so. This dinosaur footprint found in Peace River Canyon was during the 1950s displayed on the floor of Elliott Motors Chevrolet garage located north of here on Alaska Avenue. And this is just a really Exceptionally long spruce logs, is that what you said?
Yes. Full of large burls.
Oh, very, very many large burls.
Yeah.
That's very pretty. Is this the locksmith shop?
That's a replica of the original fire department.
Ah.
Number 1 and number 2 fire trucks.
This is the original fire trucks, but a replica of the engine house, is that correct?
To the wall there's some pictures. They had some older ones. Actually, the U.S. Army, the third one, first picture right there. U.S. Army left it in 1944.
It says they lent it, but I take it they never took it back.
They said they lent it, but then.
So this is a more recent addition to the town from 1971. Locksmith shop.
Where's what that is? I guess that was Dawson back in the day, maybe. It was all the green. The green films there.
Yeah. And it's the original structure built in 1916. It was originally called the Paus Poop School. It's the next little village south of here. Good old one-room schoolhouse. Oh, we can actually go in this one.
There's a telegraph and telephone exchange.
This is
The building was fashioned from part of the skid shack on as a display building.
so not the original telegraph building, but still some original equipment. When towns were small. Ah, it was in a store. Look at a bunch of old insulators, Dave.
They just built this building in 2014.
Well, this is the multiplex, but it shows what the town might have looked like with the doctor's office, the newspaper office, and the salon and barber shop. Doctor's office. The newspaper office. And the salon / barber shop. And here we have the W.O. Harper General Store, established in 1928. This is a replica of the store, first located at the old town site. Well, that's where you would have gone to get something like that if you didn't order it from the Sears catalog. Old washing machines. Some of them were combined electric and gas.
Yeah.
Oh, that is electric.
Yeah,
Burners, though.
Hot point. There's a door, I guess, huh?
Massey Harris, Toronto, Canada. Is that a cream separator? Massey Harris,
Oh, yeah.
Toronto, Canada. Also on traps, tack, cheese case, cheese and dairy case.
Butcher shop, we got grinders. And I think that's a coffee grinder there. See the old gas pump, a lot of people don't know. Those right there, I think they held 10 gallon each mark. They have more than 10 gallon, yeah. Each one of them marks represents a gallon or something. Yeah, that's 10, right there's 10. So it would hold 10 gallon of gas. They pump it up in there. There was a hand pump, you pumped it up in, and then the gravity fed it out to your car.
And many times the post office was in the general store. It's not unusual. Because if you were coming to the store, you could get your mail. This was before rural free delivery.
The old washing machine. You see these? Those washers I have, they're all hand.
I saw that.
Agitated and then you brought them out, you have to hand layer. Foodstuffs.
Ah, there's the bear-proof food storage. Got a hay ladder over there. Cock shut. Okay.
Yeah.
Drill, cock shut drill. Dave is calling this a trapper's cabin. Looks like a trapper. Oh, yep, trapper's cabin. Built in 1930, 1931. No nails, all used wooden pegs.
That's right there on top there. Oh, he actually made that chair.
Mm-hmm.
Traps.
And the single bay garages was very common back in the day. In the teacher's office. Oh, teacher must have actually lived in this one. Very simple, served its purpose. Said it was built on somebody's farm, about 10 miles north of town. Ah, always got to have a blacksmith shop. Blacksmith was a very important person at the time that these villages were built. Okay, so this is an ice saw built in 1946. It is a new engine on it, a newer engine. Built here in the area in 1946. Got a wood lathe. Dave was pointing out these ice tongs that were made by a blacksmith. If I'm looking at the map right, this is used for rotating displays to show the history of the town. Look at those Singer sewing machines. Jones sewing machine. House. People were from Minot, North Dakota. Look at the cabinet on that Singer machine. It is treadle. Wow, that's fully enclosed. That's unique. I don't see a lot of those.
Even Singer, somebody
Yeah.
probably made that.
You think?
They made a deluxe model with them.
Okay, so this house is compared to the first one we were in. The kitchen and dining area were all contained in one room, not a separate dining space. Still pretty large though.
Yeah.
That other house had 4 bedrooms upstairs. Let's see, is it just a loft, 1 bedroom? No, let's see, I think there's 3. Wow, those steps are, whoo! Yeah, 3 bedrooms. And not tiny either, I mean, for the day, they're fair sized. A little radio collection up here. What do you think, peeps? Does this look like the carpenter shop?
Yeah, wind generator up there.
Oh yeah,
6-volt charge.
6-volt wind generator. Definitely the carpenter shop.
They got a hand drill press.
Yeah. A lot of the people that came out here had these skills. They were used to doing things on their own, but sometimes you just need a little help or a little specialized, and that's where a carpenter would have come in. Yeah. So this is the Bay Tree Community Hall, and it is the story of the Alaska Highway.
There's a curved bridge. It's 15
Yeah.
miles, right?
So this curved bridge is one of the original bridges on the Alaska Highway, or first curved bridge built in Canada. The highway has been realigned and no longer crosses this bridge, but you can drive up and walk over. It's 27 kilometers from here, it said, so about 13 miles in a provincial park. It was opened to the public in 1948.
So look, the bridge. Now there's an Alacant Chronicles newspaper. Pearl Harbor attacked. That's what started the Alaskan Highway.
It's a milepost from 1967. White trucking, using the Alcan as an ad. Their trucks rolling on the road that couldn't be built. There's a picture of the inaugural mail truck, maybe, over the Alaskan Highway. Willie's here. Probably the first vehicles driven on there was old Jeeps, besides the construction equipment. Talking about the surveyors who laid out the route, blazing the trail. Number 2 was clearing the way. And then number 3, finishing up. These would have been items found in the work camp along the road. There's a map. Dawson Creek is mile 0, all the way to Delta Junction. Was the original path. There was a movie made about it.
Fellas told me that another truck had come in just behind me with 5 men and 3 inside the cab and 2 wrapped in sleeping bags outside on the truck bed. Those 2 men in the back were frozen to death. Such was life during the winter of 42, 43 in the Yukon. The next day the temperature dropped to 74 below 0, and that was without a wind chill.
The story of grain. They do grow a lot of grain out here. Machinery used in the production of grain.
This is a whole different breed here.
Waterloo self-propelled combine, 1932. So would this have been the follow-up to the Thrasher? Would that have been the next step after the Thrasher?
That would have been after the one right beside you. There was a builder Thrasher. So this was something you had to find the grain and then bring it to the Thrasher. This right here, you went to the field and cut it.
McCormick Deering on this one. Also McCormick Deering. This one's the Waterloo. These would have been belt driven with a stationary traction engine.
And then you progress the one that had the PTX shaft to pull behind the tractor. That's cock right there.
Clipper combine. So it cut the wheat or barley, whatever, and did it all in one process.
This one here, we use a swather and windrowed it, and then this right here picked the grain up and then run it through.
It didn't cut it as it went?
No, this is like a Baylor pickup head. See, that one has sickle mower on the front. So this one you use a swather and cut it, and then laid it in the windrow, and then you come along and pick that up. And then Massey Harris went to the self-propelled combine after these. And I think they had some that had the sickle mower on the front there.
Gotcha. And then we have the Massey Harris self-propelled combine.
Got about 10, 11 foot head on it. Now this one had a swather attachment with it. It would do either or. So you had to sickle mower on it, or if you use a swather and cut it in the windrow, you had another attachment. There's John Deere back here. Somebody, I thought Alex Chalmers was the only one that did it left-handed, but here's a left-handed cutter.
A potato digger,
Oh, that's cool.
seed drills.
Look at this. As you went through, you went under and plucked the dirt up, and this spun, and then kicked the potatoes out. Then I guess it was picked up by hand. Right? Case.
Yep, leave them on the ground for the pickers to pick up.
2-bottom case style.
Yep.
Sure what this thing is.
We saw one in a
Powered grain grinder.
grain grinder. Okay.
So no one where you had the horse tied to it, the horse would walk in circles. And that was a USA military truck. They've been up here on the Alaska Highway. Here you go. 42 U.S. Army Chevrolet, ton and a half, 4x4.
Same type used to build the highway.
Yeah, it says used during World War II to carry aircraft across airfields. Same truck used now. You got parts and time. It's a homemade snowmobile.
1953 four-wheel drive Ford. There's a tow truck. International self-propelled combine. Cement mixer. That looks like something out of a cartoon, I'm sure. Yeah. Front end loader. Not exactly what you call a tractor, calls original or an early front end loader. T50's Caterpillar. Okay. They have an army truck, the front end loader was. Got Fordson and a cock shut. B26 Mac, yep, B61 Mac.
Camelback, he'd be a good man for that.
Seems like no collection's complete. We got some John Deeres. I gotta say, many tractor shows, everything we've been to, I've never heard of a red seal. Of course, we are from the States. I'll have to look it up. Maybe you guys know. Is that a Canadian thing? Some more John Deeres. We got back here. 1020 McCormick Deering. Rumley Woolpool. Another Woolpool. Get up front here.
Hey, we got one case of work. Okay.
Sideways motor Dave says. Case is our tractor, so he's more the expert on it than I am, but still. Here in Dawson Creek, they've got a visitor center and a museum and the old NAR train station. Over here we have Alberta Pool elevator. Air mattress popped in the first night, so we had to venture out there.
Making a sign, I tell people to take time.
That's why lunch only must be organized. It is really nice. Yeah, the yarns in there. How far is lunch only from here?
A lot of historic photographs. There's a trapper's cabin with the food stash.
Yeah, I was gonna say, these track machines are, that's one of the buildings that's down there.
Yeah, yeah. Sure is. That's the grocery store. Yeah, general store, general merchant. Is it being moved?
It's being moved, yeah. That's,
In that picture. Last spike. The NAR driven in by Mrs. Fred Chase and Frank Detweiler.
that's somebody, that's crazy.
They're crawling all over
Yeah.
them. You just stop them.
I just always wondered, like, punch your car, you know, it's like,
Well, they're being this time of year, so like
Yeah.
maybe be a little more cautious, but your car.
just wonder about, yeah, so it was
We take it the station master lived in the station. Probably not that unusual.
It's the old ice chest.
Ice box. They would have cut a chunk of ice from the lake or the river.
Ice chest.
So yeah, so the ice, oh yeah, that's insulated.
Yeah.
So ice in the top, usually I believe, and then your goods would have been in the bottom. Cream separator. Look at that little stove.
Little fire extinguisher to go with it.
Oh, there's another one of those Jones sewing machines like they had in one of the buildings. This is actually pretty good sized quarters. Fairly nice for a railroad employee. Look at the size of that closet. That's a little unusual. Guess the way the house was designed. Or a storage room for maybe a baggage room for the railroad. And here on the other side, we have what right now looks like more of a nature museum.
Wolf on the left here. Timber wolf, like I said, that's a nice head on a piece of wood.
There's another one. We saw some mountain goats yesterday. That was pretty cool. You get to see a wolf or a porcupine.
That's bald eagle juvenile. It's in the fossils here. Oh, did you see the fossils?
This was found in the Paus Couple Riverbank in 1969. It is a mammoth tusk. Wow.
Very big animal.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine. That's probably not even all of it.
That thing's, it's got a 10-foot of tusk there. There we go.
There's some dinosaur tracks, some other bones. What we got here? And here we have some artifacts from the area. Oh, look at that piano. That one's fancy. Look at these ceramic insulators. Another cream separator. We've seen a lot of them this trip at the different museums. Of course, we've been to more museums than normal. Butter churn.
I think they were here prior.
See, I remember using some of these things. The rotary dial phone. My grandmother had one, so that's not that old. So it looks like the 5 grain elevators that were lined up in town at one time were all different, I want to say brands, all owned by different companies.
Not only did they do the grain that you think about, which is barley and wheat, fescue grass. Here's Timothy. A lot of the seeds come from up here back in the day. They did oats and brome. That one is back here. There's some canola.
That says barley.
Yes, canola went way back.
That's some kind of barley.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see it there. Yeah, that's
Bearded barley?
That's bearded barley.
Some flax.
Yeah.
And they may still be growing seed up
Yeah,
here.
flax is something you bake with, isn't it? Flax.
Flaxseed, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people don't. Where's alfalfa? They did alfalfa. I mean, all that was a seed crop.
And may still be.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you gotta have seeds. So. I have another homemade snowmobile. That was pretty unique. It's got a wooden wheel with a rubber tire on it with chains fastened to it. That's an old, I don't know if it's a Clinton or a Briggs and Stratton, old gas engine. You set on the box. It's got on runners. You know,
Wow.
we got the rifles or guns here. Yeah, that one goes way back there.
It says they started hunting beaver here, or trapping beaver here as far back as 1729.
Right, that one there is a percussion. It's a cap shotgun, black powder shotgun. That's a rifle. It's either, I think it's a 50 cal. That's a percussion gun. And this one right here, I think it's percussion too.
Well, one's a double barrel.
No, I think that was one right there. That was a brass cartridge shell, I think, but it was a shotgun shell. It's missing a little firing pin, and then the hammer struck the firing pin.
So was the double barrel the shotgun you were talking about, or is that something else?
Yeah, the second one down is that's a double barrel black powder shotgun. It uses a percussion cap.
And the top one?
Number 11 cap. I think that's just a 20.
Okay.
It looks like a breakdown 22.
Gotcha. Ice cream freezer. That's not a butter churn, isn't it? After doing the museums, we walked around town a little bit and hit up the Mustard Moose Trading Post. Stop in if you get a chance. Real cute antique store, thrift shop. They've got a women's clothing shop in the back. Then we headed over to the Poston Road Brewery and Eatery for a late afternoon refreshment. It is a full-service restaurant, but they don't have pizza. So we just got a pretzel and our brews. And then for our pizza, we grabbed a pizza at the Red Tomato Pie. Really good pizza. We took it back to the RV to enjoy. I know this was a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really love going to these museums and filming everything. For those of you that don't have the ability to travel, I can show you what they got. And for those of you that do travel, maybe it'll give you an idea what you'd go like to see in person instead of just on a video. If you'd like to see all of our adventures that got us across the lower 48 and up to the Canadian border, be sure to click the playlist above. Be sure to hit that like button. Don't be afraid to share and comment. And as always, let's keep rolling.